Hey, I'm back with another awesome unboxing video. And today we finally have them all. Wave 10 of Jakks Pacific's 4-inch Sonic the Hedgehog action figures. So here we are, Wave 10, double digits, and with a pretty good wave at that. With one reprint, one variant, and two brand new figures, this wave is actually pretty good. Alright, can't really say much here, so let's go ahead and start opening them. Now right off the bat, you already know that I do already have an Amy figure, but I also like to collect any version of Amy, and this is the first time she's been released in the regular packaging, as the first time we got Amy, she was in a nice 30th anniversary packaging, so I like to collect these in box sometimes, and I really like Amy, so bought the other one because I really like Amy. So they're my two Amys. But now I think we'll start with the brand new Classic Sonic. So fresh out of the box, here is our brand new Classic Sonic figure. Now the biggest difference is obviously his brand new expression. Instead of having that weird toothy grin on the opposite side of his mouth, he now has this nice little open smile that's just a little print design. Actually, I think there's a bit of a molding there that the print is supposed to fit in. Mine looks a little off center, if you can see that there. But it is a very, very better expression than the weird toothy grin we got in the last one. Another difference is his arms are bent in a lot. The other one didn't have arms that were bent that much, but yeah, it just has this weird little pose. I think it's supposed to be like he's running, maybe? Maybe if you want to give him that pose, he kind of has his arms a little more bent into each other. And another note is his pupils are a lot rounder this time around. I think on the last Classic Sonic, his pupils were just kind of long. I mean, it didn't look bad, but looking at these, it looks like a way bigger improvement. And yet another change is that his head is actually on straight. Now, if you remember the Classic Sonic, it was at this weird tilt, kinda like it was actually put in at a tilt, and it's not even like fixable. It was just made like that for some reason. So this one is a pretty big upgrade. Not much to say about it. Articulation's the same. Hands are the same as the last Classic Sonic. So yeah, but I think this is a way better one than the little toothy grin one. So if you see this one, I say pick it up. This is very much worth the price, and I think it's a way better Classic Sonic. Now, I don't get why they don't just give him the little closed half smile that we all know Classic Sonic has, and just regular Sonic, but that's fine. They're getting there. They're getting close, so no big complaints here. Now let me bring out that older Classic Sonic, and as you can see, the differences are a lot more apparent. There is the rounder eyes and the longer pupils here. See, these are a lot more rounder. These look a lot nicer. His creepy little toothy grin that no one really liked, you know? And his head's on straight. You can see, you think this is tilted because it's like kind of on a ball joint, but it's not. That's just how it is for some reason. The arms, a lot straighter, and these are a lot more bent. Let's see, the little code thing is on the bottom of his shoe on the newer one, while the other one has it at the back of the foot. That is also very, very nice. I don't know why they put them on the back of the foot. They should just put them on the bottom where you can't see them when they're standing up. Oh, here's his muzzle. As you can see there, it goes all the way to the back of his head. Don't know why it's molded like that, while this one just kind of stops there, which isn't that bad. That looks so much better. This one is just a huge upgrade. Now, there is one more Classic Sonic to look at, but this one's not too fair to be compared because it is purposely way different. This is the Laughing Classic Sonic. This guy is goofy and weird, but I like him a lot, and this guy is pretty normal and good, and I like him a lot too. So yeah, let's move on to our next figure. You know, it's funny, I was so positive about this figure that I totally forgot that it came with such a crappy accessory. So, Jakks, we don't want any more of these yellow or red springs. Please just give us something more unique. Even more rings is fine. Just, I'm sick of these springs. I don't even have playsets to use them on. Sticking with the classic figures, we will be taking a look at Rey the Flying Squirrel. And out of the package here is Rey the Flying Squirrel. Now this is amazing. Just like Mighty, it's crazy that we're getting figures of these characters that have never had merchandise before. Now of course, Rey has a plush and he has a 2.5-inch figure, but this is the bigger 4-inch, more articulated figure, I suppose. Well, yeah, he has knee joints. Other one doesn't have knee joints, and that's pretty much it. His tail rotates. You know, like I said, he bends at the knee here. He has ball joint shoes and hands. His arms are bent with his little arm flaps. Now, ever since they, confirmed they were making a Rey, I always wondered, how are they going to do these little arm flap dealies? Because they're supposed to be connected to his body. Now, this is accurate, but It was the best they can do, and I think it works out great. Now, his face looks amazing. He looks totally he just looks adorable. Rey's adorable. But I do have something to say about his pupils here. Now, if you saw my last Sonic review, I'm pretty sure that was the 2.5-inch Rey review. Or at least he was featured in that. And I mentioned that Rey's pupils looked very, very long. Like, they just looked weirdly long on that little 2.5-inch figure. Now, I was right to say that because apparently there were some reissues of that Rey figure that had the fixed rounder pupils like this guy. So, let me get out 2.5-inch Rey. Here he is. Now, look at the difference in pupils. You can see that, right? Like, these ones are a lot rounder and shorter, and he just looks a lot nicer. Now, these are just kind of elongated and a little off-putting. But, like I said, the more recent releases of Rey, like newer shipments of Rey, have fixed this and given him rounder eyes, as you can see in this picture I found on eBay. So, you know, if you're a completionist and you also just like to, you know, get the better variations of characters, I say look for that one too. I don't have that one yet. I'm going to be looking for it if I ever, you know, run into one, because I don't really mind not getting it, but still, there are Rey figures out there coming out with the fixed pupils that look a lot more like this. We're back to Rey. 4-inch Rey. He just looks great overall. A little tuft of hair is nice, the details all there, his shoes are good, paint apps are good. Once again, they put the coat on the bottom of the foot. That is great. Nothing to obscure the backside. And overall, he's just really, really good. We don't get a lot of these classic figures in the 4-inch scale, so I'm really glad that Rey is the one that they chose to do next, because he's another one of those characters that doesn't get a lot. I think last time we got a 4-inch classic character was probably classic Dr. Eggman, as well as Mecha Sonic. But those ones kind of work with the, you know, 2.5-inch figures anyways. But as for the actual animal characters, this is the first one we've gotten since basically Mighty, I'd say. I mean, if you count the Sonic variants we've gotten. But either way, really happy to have this guy next. Well, here is the accessory that comes with Rey the Flying Squirrel. It is a red emerald, which, as we know, came with Super Shadow back in Wave 3, I believe. Was it Wave 3? I think it was, no, it was Wave 4, I think. I forget, there's 10 of these waves now. How can I remember them all? Anyways, yeah, it's another red emerald. We've gotten this before. I guess if you don't have it, this is a great way of getting it. But at the same time, we're just missing the white one. Just give us the white emerald. I know you guys have it coming soon. I know it's technically out in some form, but, like, come on, man. Duplicate emeralds. What are you going to do with them? Anyways, that's all I have to say about Rey. On to our last figure. And last but not least, what I think is the most exciting figure of the wave, Vector the Crocodile. And out of the box, we have Vector the Crocodile. Wow, this dude is huge. He has a lot of weight to him, honestly. I think it's just all the plastic in his torso, which makes sense. He's a big guy, so I'm glad they kept his scale somewhat close. First impressions are, wow, this guy is amazing. All of his details are there. They all look great. Paint applications are wonderful, especially in his mouth. All his little teeth are painted, his tongue. Oh man, his eyes, people said he looks a little wall-eyed. I kind of agree. If he was looking a little more inward, it wouldn't look as bad. But you know what? It's not terrible, you know? It's not terrible at all. He's got his headphones there. He's got his gold chain around his neck. Elbow articulation, because he's got these big arms. You know, I don't think they would have missed out on elbow articulation when he's got such thick arms like this. His legs have articulation as well, but he has no knee joints. So you can see he just can kind of do that and that, which is unfortunate, but I guess it makes sense to better use his shoes to balance him better, because he's very, very top heavy, as you can see. His shoes are also very nice. I like this glossy finish they kind of have on him. Very simple designs, but also applied very, very well. So they actually put his little code thing on the back of his shoe. I guess it makes sense. He has no space down here. His tail also rotates, as you can see. Just goes all the way around like that. He's got all his spines back here that looks really nice. There's that elbow articulation again. So yeah, this guy is a great figure. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he has jaw articulation, so you can actually open and close his mouth, which I don't think any other Vector action figure we've gotten does that. And to be fair, I think we've only gotten like one other Vector action figure, but that looks great. Now, there is one complaint with that, is that you can see inside of his mouth there's like a green line. That's kind of just the part that connects the jaw to the top of his head. So that needed some painting to, you know, because it kind of ruins the illusion. But like, if you look at him like this, he doesn't look that bad. But look at him from the mouth directly, you can see that line. It's not that great. But either way, you know, small price to pay for having some really cool jaw articulation. It looks almost seamless. You can see right there where the jaw connects, right there. But it's not that big of a deal. I think he looks amazing. This is one of the best figures so far. And I know I say that about every single figure that comes out, but it's just true. Jakks is just always making these really, really amazing figures. Every single wave, every new character just looks amazing. Let's look at his accessory now. It's been a bit of a trend with these figures. It seems like most of their accessories just aren't that great, because Vector just comes with the 10 ring. He could have come with like a unique walkie-talkie he could hold, or just something, a white emerald, maybe. But 10 ring it is. I think it's because of the size of the packaging. Wouldn't fit anything more than just a single 10 ring. So there you go, Vector and his iconic 10 ring. So that's all I really got to say about this guy. Let's go ahead and do a height comparison. So here is the 3 figures we reviewed today, and now we'll be doing a height comparison with other figures in the Jakks line. First off, here are the 3 Sonic figures together. All very different, but the middle one I think is the best. And here is Sonic with Mighty and Rey, and he looks perfect with them, and they all just really look good with each other. And it's great that we have these 3 as our first classic characters, because as you know, this is the cast from the Sega Sonic arcade game. And now here's Rey with his 2.5-inch counterpart. And now here's Rey and Mighty, finally reunited at last. And now here we have Vector, Espio, and Knuckles, who are all part of the original Knuckles Chaotix team. Now, as you can see, Vector is very much taller than these two. I think it's a little too short, maybe, but it looks pretty good for what they could do. And now here's Vector and Omega, which Omega so far is probably the tallest character they've come out with. So, as you can see, they're pretty much the same size, which is good. I'm just glad Vector's taller than pretty much everyone else in the cast. And lastly, here's Vector with Bob from Bob's Burgers. So I think that wraps up everything I have to say about these brand new figures. They're all really great, and I'm excited to see what they come out with next. I know they're already planning on making Charmy the Bee, so I'm excited to add him to the Team Chaotix. And I also really hope we get more of the classic characters in the 4-inch figure line. My only complaint is that the accessories kinda suck. Really excited for next wave, which I think will be getting Big the Cat and Chaos, which is the first time we've ever gotten a figure of him, ever. But even almost 3 years later, and this line is still going strong with no signs of stopping. Anyways, I think that's all I want to say, so thanks for watching, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time! And next time, we might be reviewing something pretty special.